Okay, just wanted to give a bit of a layout update. I have done quite a bit of destruction. I've taken up all the track. I removed a helix. I've built another helix. And I just want to show you now the new way of going up. So this guy here, the old scale train, is going to lead a mixed manifest up the new ramp. So I'll go into the other room and just show you where it is. So there it comes. This used to dead end, it didn't go anywhere, and from that point on is new. And well, it's actually new, but new to the position, but old considering where it was. All this helix that's right here was the previous helix that was here, plus a little bit of the other one, and I cut it up into pieces and was able to piece it all together, which was quite nice because it made things a lot faster. I put this together in 2 days and had it running, well, pieces of it running probably within an hour and a half, which is really nice. So what it is this is my oval shaped helix. So it's longer than the previous one that was here because it was a circle, and I've managed to do it in 2 laps, well, 2.5 laps, I guess. It is pretty steep, it's about 3.5%, but engines like this really heavy tier 4 can pull it. I'll have to consist everything else as well. Can't run a single 4-axle up here with many cars, it just won't pull it. But that's okay, I'll accept that. The reason why I didn't want to do another lap is because I have to take this thing apart, and the more levels I have, the more complicated it gets. So the table is one level, and then where the train is now is another level, and then the top, and these come off as horseshoes, and they detach right in line with the closet wall. So there's one screw holding each piece in, and I just have to undo the fish plates and take it off and put it in the furnace room for whenever anybody's over here. This is the guest room. Well, will be a guest room. Yeah, so I've got most of the track in. I've got all the track in for the up, and I've got 90% of it in for the down. The down is right beside where the train is right now. The up is the wider radius for obvious reasons for you guys. And I'll just come over here, and that's where it previously used to go down. But what I'm going to do is I've had a turnout installed here, and I'm going to level this out. Instead of dropping, it's going to level off. And I'm going to use this area over here for staging. So I can fit 5 or 6 tracks in there, no problem, on a wide piece of ply. And so this will be staging, upper staging. And then I've also got this space over here where the tools are that is now kind of open and accessible. So if I pull off a turnout just before the re-railer, I can get over here and have another 5 or 6 tracks of staging, which is going to be quite nice. And I still keep it thin enough for my workbench, which is a total disaster. And yeah, so I'll explain the rest of it on the other side. So I greatly simplified things. Oh, it's derailed. Ha, go figure. Anyway, I took about 5 or 6 switches out of this area, and it made it quite simple. So it's going to be a single line coming in and a single line going out. And part of the removal of the switches is because I no longer am going to have a yard lead where the 2 boxcars are. The yard lead is going to come around the scissor Y, which is now going to be, well, from this point this way is going to be my reverse loop. So I've still got my gaps over there, and I've glued this track down, so I'm going to cut 2 gaps here, and the PSXAR is going to control everything this side, and then just the regular Arduino is going to control this side, which is basically 98% of the layout, I guess 97% of the layout. So because I took everything out, I was able to move my 3-way back another foot, and I made everything longer, and I got an additional yard track up here too, without losing too much space. So I guess for the keen-eyed viewers, some of you may notice that the ramp in the back is now going up in a different direction. I was able to pull that off in one piece and do a 180 in the room and put it back. And so that ramp is now going to lead up to my big bridge that's going to cross over the yard. And the hated Helix is gone. Thank God. Okay, so I really did not like this thing. It just was this giant thing in the middle of the room and I couldn't stand it. Had to build it to get up, but now I don't. I'm just going to basically do a return loop where those box cars are. And I'll do another return loop up here, which is going to attach to that bridge. So those are my two return loops. So it's just kind of like a big dog bone, one on top of the other. Benefits here, I'm going to have all this space right here in front to do something with, and I'll have another joiner between these two levels to do something up here as well. So, and there won't be this giant thing in the way. So awesome. Anyway, I'm going to connect that shelf back up with this guy, and I'll do something up here. I'm not to be determined whether that's going to be. And I was going to rip all this out, the double track at the back. As you can see, I ripped most of it out, but I decided to keep it. Actually, I'm going to keep two tracks back there. One's going to be the main and one's going to be a siding, and they're going to head right through the double there and then go back down to a single track. And that's going to be the down on the Helix you saw in the other room. And this piece of ply right here is going to be cut and dropped 4 inches to basically match this part of benchwork here. So it'll be a lot wider and I can put industry and stuff in there. So that's my plan, and I'm kind of midway through doing it. I've got a lot of work to do to replace all that. But yeah, I do have trains running up and down. As I cut those gaps, I'll have this section back and I can put my cars back in the yard because it's a total mess. But yeah, progressing well. Anyway, I said I was going to do it and I've started doing it. Anyway, hope you enjoy the layout update. I will get back to you with another video. I've just finished 2 engines, super detailing 2 engines too. I just got to weather them, and I'll show you those when I'm finished. Okay, stay tuned.